Hey everybody, this is Games Plus James and welcome back to our Unity Simple Audio Manager tutorial series. Now in the first episode we set up a simple way to handle switching between our music tracks, and now we're going to take a look at keeping our audio manager alive when we move into a new level and keeping it active and making sure that we're actually able to keep making changes as we go through our levels. So if we walk into our new level now, we'll see that our audio manager doesn't stay for us when we go into a new level. The music just completely goes and there's not really much we can do. If we wanted to play some new music when we loaded up a level, we've nothing to do here. So what we want to do is actually keep our audio manager active across scenes. We don't want to destroy our audio manager. So if we go back into our script, in the start function of our audio manager, what we want to do is just add a don't destroy on load, and then in brackets we'll type game object. So what that means is it's telling Unity that this script, whatever game object this script is attached to, we don't want to destroy it when we load up a new scene. We want it to carry over into a new area. Okay, so we're keeping our audio manager alive. So let's write a simple little script to start some new music when we walk into a new level. So we'll go here and we're going to create a new C# script that we will call switch music on load, like this. Let this open up here. And again, much like we did with our switch music trigger, we can just reuse the same start of this here. So we can just copy all of that and paste it over our start function here, because we want to do the exact same thing. We want to have a track that we're going to change it to. We need to know what the audio manager is, and we need to make sure that the audio manager is whatever audio manager is currently in our level. So if we go in our start function here, basically what we're doing is as soon as we start a new level, we want to load up our new music. So straight away in our start function, what we can do is just say on the audio manager dot change BGM, and what we're going to change it to is whatever our new track is. And again, we're going to add in the same check to make sure that we actually have a new track assigned in our to our audio clip up here. So we're going to say if new track does not equal null. And just do the same, make sure that's in line just to make it a little bit easier to read. So let's set that up here. We'll go back into the game, let that compile, and we're going to make sure and save this scene. So once it finishes compiling, our scene is saved. We're going to jump into scene 2 here, or test 2 as we have it, and we're going to create a new object, create an empty object that we're going to call new music. We're going to give it the switch music on load script, and we're going to assign a new track to here. So let's actually assign it back to be BitQuest again. No, actually we'll set it to be Overworld, just because we don't want it to just start with the same music we had starting off before. So now we'll jump back into our, we'll save that first, then we'll jump back into our first scene. And the reason I'm going back into our first scene will become obvious in a minute or two. But let's just hit play here. We get some new music playing, some other music, and now when we go in here, we can see our audio manager is still alive, but our new music is being activated as we go in here. And just to demonstrate actually how our audio manager does actually keep going between levels, if we go back to scene 2 here, I'm just going to deactivate this object. I can highlight it first. There we go. I'm just going to deactivate it, go back into our first scene, and we'll play again. And if we go, as you can see, when we load into the new level, the music just keeps playing as we go. So if we were to stop this now, and just if we were to go to test to our new scene, our audio manager scene, if we play this from here, what we'll find is we don't actually have an audio manager to play any music for us. So if we're just to start off on this level, then we have a problem. We have nothing appearing here. If we were to turn our new music object back on, what we'll have is, there we go, we get an error because we don't know where that object is within the world. So what we need to do is create a way for our audio manager to be brought into the world if it's not already in there. So what we're going to do is go back to our first scene first of all. We're going to go into our prefabs folder and we're going to drag our audio manager into there so that we have an audio manager prefab that we can then load up when we if we're missing one in whatever level we load into. So we'll go back to level 2 here. We're going to create a new simple little script that we will call our audio manager check. And we'll open this up. And basically this is just going to check and see if there's an audio manager object in the world. And if there isn't, then we're going to put one into the world. So we'll obviously need to know what is the audio manager that we should create. So we're going to say public game object that we'll call our audio, just audio man for short. And then in the start function, straight away what we want to do is say if we can find object of type audio manager. So what we're doing is saying, okay, if we do a find object of type audio manager, and if that comes back as true, then that means there's an audio manager already found, so there's nothing else we need to do. We can just say, okay, in that case, return, don't worry about anything. But what we want to say is else. So if that's not true, if we do a find object and it doesn't find any objects, then what we can say, okay, in that case, we know we need one. So instantiate in our audio man. And the position we need to put it in at is just transform.position. It doesn't really matter where our audio manager is in the world. So transform.position and transform.rotation. We could set them to just be 0 if we wanted to, but it doesn't really matter too much. And that's basically all we have to do there. So we'll save that. We'll go back into our scene here. And then we're going to create another object. Once that compiles, we'll go create empty, and we'll call this our AM check for audio manager check. We'll give it that script there like that. And then in our prefabs folder here, we want to drag our audio manager from there into our slot here. And now, if we play the game, give it a second, and there you go. You can see our game is actually playing just the way we want it to, and we can see our new music script has told our audio manager to go to the second bit of music rather than the 8-bit one that it starts off with. So it's gone to overworld. If we stop it again, we go back to our audio manager prefab here, we can see BitQuest is the default one, but we have new music telling it to automatically change to overworld. So even when our audio manager is actually brought into the scene, it still knows to load that up, or to use our switch music on load, still will load the actual proper bit of music that we wanted to load. So now that we have that in place, there's one more little bug that we've got that we want to fix before we move on to doing some other things. And that is, if we're here, we bring our audio manager into the scene and we run over and go back into the first level. You can hear we've got 2 bits of music playing because we've gone back into the first level, which already had an audio manager in it. So therefore, we're kind of in trouble. We don't need 2 audio managers in our game. So what we're going to do is just add a simple little check to see that will basically run in the start function. So what will happen is if we go into a level that our audio manager already exists in, it'll do a check and see, okay, is there any other how many audio managers do we have alive in our scene at the moment? And if there's more than one audio manager, we want to just delete the new one that's about to be created and keep the one that may already be playing music that we want to continue playing. So we'll go back into our script here and go to our audio manager script, And at the start, below our don't destroy and load, we're going to say if we find object, but instead of saying object, we want to say objects of type, and we want to say audio manager because we're checking for audio manager. And what find objects of type does, it basically gets an array of objects. So say if there is 5, for some crazy reason, if there's 5 audio managers in our scene, that will return an array of 5 objects. And if we have an array, what we can do is calculate the length of the array. So we can say I find objects of type audio manager dot length, and if that is greater than 1, then we know there's too many audio managers in our scene. So in that case, just destroy this current audio manager. So we'll say destroy game object like that, and then therefore it's destroying the new object or the new audio manager that's being created, and we won't have to deal with this issue of our music doubling up like it is here. So if we go back into our script, and then we hit play. So we run over here, we've got our audio manager going. We can see it's called audio manager clone, whereas the one in our first scene is actually just called audio manager. So then we can see if we walk in here, we go back to this one, our audio manager now is gone. We don't have to worry about it anymore. So we can just go along here. But we are getting a bit of an error here because the audio sources, these ones here, have actually gone and found the audio manager that was then kind of destroyed almost straight away. So what we can do to make sure that doesn't happen, what we can actually do is affect the order of the scripts. So in our project settings down here, we can go script execution order. If we hit plus, we can get our audio manager here and we can move it so that it's before anything else. So we have default time is basically when all the scripts will normally run in order. So what we can say is our audio manager, if we put our audio manager before that, it'll do that check to delete itself straight away, and then all these other objects will try and find whatever audio manager is in the scene, which at that point will be the only one that we have active at that time. We also would probably want to do the same thing with our audio manager check, actually put that again before our other audio manager, so that will do the check to see if it needs to instantiate one before anything else happens, just in case we end up with a situation where for some reason, say this new music, actually just apply that there, say this new music object here, if that went to play very first, then that would be trying to set the clip here of Overworld onto an audio manager that might not have been created in our world because we were starting off here with nothing in it. So if we hit play now, what we should see is we'll walk back into our little level loader, and now we don't have any errors. Okay, so we're actually still getting the same kind of audio source problem here. So one quick way we can just fix that is back in our script, on our switch music trigger here, what we can just say is instead of finding the object back here, what we can do is put some curly brackets around this little bit here and just paste it in there like that. So it just finds the audio manager right as it needs to change the track, which is not really a big problem because it's something we're only going to do once really when we enter a collider like that. So we can go back in here, let that compile, hit our play button, walk along through this stuff, go back into the level, and now it knows to be able to find this audio manager here. I don't know why it's not, oh, we're already using the same music, sorry. Obviously it's not going to change our track because we have the track names the same. So now our little zones work perfectly fine. We're able to keep our audio manager going. We can go back into this world and we can see our new music is loading just the way we want it to, and we have no more no extra audio managers being created. So there you go, that's how we can set up our basic audio manager and switch between tracks. But we want to do a little bit more than that. We want to be able to control the volume and stuff like that. We want to be able to smoothly switch between tracks, because at the moment it can be a little jarring just jumping into a new track like that. So we're going to take a look at doing some of that stuff in the next episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching this episode, and if you want to learn more about developing your own games, you can follow the link on screen to my complete 2D platformer game development course on Udemy, where you will learn how to program and build a complete game in Unity 2D with multiple levels, enemies, and unique boss battles. So click the link on screen or in the description below and get the course today.